It's not, they're not very important, and we're going to let them stay in that burning building until they figure it out. You know, it's two problems in life, you problems and me problems. And I like to deal with the me problems, sister.
All right, all right. Well, in light of that, I am Siri-lily, and known on Facebook as Lily Shiloh.
Yes, yes.
And this is, I want to introduce this beautiful queen. This is Sister Elena Porter. She teaches international rights for the Afro-descendant nation. And she is a chief human policy rights officer. And she is, let's put it like this, she wears a whole lot of hats. I'm honored to know her. I'm honored she chose to be my sister. And I am honored to know that someone as brilliant as you and Dr. Cecil and Dr. Ansari are fighting on behalf of us lost sheep. And I'm not going to include myself in that number, but many lost sheep in this place we call America. So, but continue on. I thought I'd start recording while you were talking because you was already on fire.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, sister. And it's an honor to be in your circle. You are you know, you have been an inspiration to me. The conversations we had have been so healing for me, and allowing me to share some of the experiences that I've encountered in this work. It has not been easy work. It's not a safe environment that we work in.
Right.
It's not a very holistic environment. We have actually used a lot of our resources, our own resources, to do what we're doing. But it's been so rewarding, and it's well worth it because we're laying a foundation for the generations to come. And we don't have a choice in the matter anymore of or the luxury of sitting idly by. We are in a genocide in progress, and if we don't move now, I can see us actually being carted off to FEMA camps like the Jews, in a similar fashion. So we are seeing a lot of heinous crimes against humanity all over this country. Later on in this specific broadcast, I want to talk about what happened in South Georgia. These incidents are not isolated incidents. These incidents has been occurring in Georgia for quite some time, and not only in Georgia,
everywhere
here in the United States.
Everywhere
in the United States. So since you are the host, I'm going to let you guide this conversation. I want to share a lot of the laws that protect us, and I want to put it in a conversational tone that anybody can relate to. Because at this point, we don't have the luxury of waiting, and we don't have the luxury of doing nothing. We are on the cusp of another mass atrocity. It does not look good. We could be wiped out at any time because of the political decisions that our leadership has made. And with that, I yield the floor back to you, sister.
Sister, I think I just wanted to ask a few questions. And as you know, I reach out to people through social media. The Facebook page that I have, many of the questions that I receive, I feel them as best I can simply because of the information that you, Sister Elena, and Dr. Ansari and Brother Ramzu and also Brother Daniel, those people, you all have been very instrumental in teaching me. So I am so grateful for that. All I ever really wanted to do was learn more about what we can do to better ourselves. I know that if I want to be something, if I want the world to be a certain way, then I need to become that myself. So the questions that I wanted to say, that I'm getting a lot of questions, and I already know this, but I want to let it come from your mouth. I want, because sometimes
Yes.
the way I explain things is not
Yes.
the way that someone else would understand it. So what is it that we are going to do? Yes, the world is this nation that we live in is in a sad state of affairs. First of all, you touched on the dire uh, uh, situation that we're in. I think that many people don't realize how bad it really is. But for the sake of conversation, we have these conversational people on social media who are just talking and don't think that we really need to do anything, and they want to investigate how. Which, if you're really hurting, you're not going to be worried about how. You're just going to get up and go.
Yeah, you're gonna go. You're
You're
gonna
going to
go.
go. But since these
Mm-hmm.
people think they have the time to investigate the ins and outs of how we going to do this, would you explain what this is all about, and how are we going to get our human rights met?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna have to give you a little lesson, a little history lesson. Um, After the Civil War during 1865, our ancestors had several choices according to the international laws of that time and just war. The first thing I want to start off saying as well is that our point of entry was well before 1619.
That's right.
Our sovereignty has been displaced many moons before 1619. Here in the state of Georgia, is as early as 1526. And if you start looking at the church, that's a whole nother broadcast we're going to touch basis on. It was well before then. Uh, Even before the papal bulls, we have been at war. And after the Civil War, our ancestors made it perfectly clear they wanted an autonomous state. They wanted their own land. They wanted to exercise the right to self-determination. And General Sherman, specifically here in the South, made sure they have land all up the coast, the coast of Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, different areas. We had settlements. We had land. Some of us even had land during slavery. And there was a compromise in the 1870s where the federal government pulled out our protection, pulled out the troops, and they rescinded all of the agreements that were made, and they re-enslaved us using their just us system, using their politics. They colonized us. They encapsulated us into their polity. What that means is they made unilateral decisions via the 13th, 14th, and 15th amendments. We did not agree to those terms. Those were imposed on us. And it was illegal even according to the international laws of that time and the laws of just war. Because we must remember, our ancestors were enslaved. They were not born slaves. They were casualties of war. Let me make that perfectly clear.
Say it one more time. They were not
slaves. They were enslaved.
Born.
They were not born slaves.
That's right.
They were not born slaves. They were casualties of war.
That's
Most
right.
of the ships that they came on, and we will do a talk further once I send you some information that I do have, they were prison ships. Yes. Prison ships. Okay.
Sure. I've seen the information on that, sis. I know you're not lying.
I know.
I've seen the information on that.
Yes. And those were prison ships. So we're basically intergenerational prisoners of war because of the political form, the political relationship. Everything is coerced by force. Even the political structures that we are under right now. Let's take a look at South Georgia, for example. If you go online and take a look at the demographics of Brunswick, Georgia, where that murder occurred, I believe I saw that particular area, the population is 59% U.S. Afro descendant, and I'm substituting that for Black. We're not crayons.
Right.
We're not crayons.
Right.
But we will use it to describe us because most of our audience do not know that Afro descendant is a juridical personality and a
That we are
status
all belong to
that
that.
we all belong to in the Americas.
Everyone.
In the Americas.
Mhm.
So, because of this relationship, like in areas like that, in order to keep that relationship intact, they have institutions and different organizations, fraternal orders, such as the Ku Klux Klan and different orders that we don't even know about, that's public, that uses force to
One of
keep
them,
these things intact, and they use terror. They terrorize whole communities
whole
to
community.
keep us out of politics, to keep us out of the economy, to keep us away from our own wealth, power, and resources, and to keep us so fragmented that we're constantly in survival mode. We've never had an opportunity to grow.
And we don't realize the power that we have.
That's right.
Make sure that we don't realize that power.
That's right. But one of the things I want to make sure that our audience understands is that in order to maintain that imposed, forced, coerced relationship, they use terror. And what happened in Brunswick, Georgia, what happened out in Ferguson, when you look at the population, the institutions are not reflective of the populations that they propose to protect. For example, if you take a look at Brunswick, Georgia, and you looked at the picture with the female, what is she, the district attorney, whoever she is supposed to be.
She's a DA. She's a DA.
Whatever she is.
Put up for everyone to see. Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm going to be clean. Anyway.
You know me, sis. I call it like it is. I don't pull punches, and we already know. But my people, the people who are on my page, they already hear my perspective. They know how I am. I want them to. If there are people on my page who want to hear a different perspective, and so we're gonna give them that if they'll listen.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to try to be nice today. But anyway, it's Sunday. So
first day of the week. Anyway,
first day of the week.
Yesterday was a Sabbath. You too late for trying to be holy. Anyway, come on.
Okay. But anyway, if you look at that picture, if there's that population is 59% U.S. Afro descendants.
Right.
Why were there no Black officers in that picture? It does not reflect the population. Okay, and
it's a government. It's a city under siege. Is what?
That's right. It's colonization, sister. That's the proper term for that. It's colonization. It's colonized. We are the poster children for colonization. We don't own anything. We don't control our politics. We don't control even the land spaces and settlements that we live in. They use selective annexing and underbounding, moving, and what that is moving back zip codes and zones.
We control no jurisprudence whatsoever.
Nothing. So we are excluded.
Decisions are made by us at all.
Exactly. So we're excluded from our own wealth, power, and resources. And that is the problem. When you don't control your means to survival, your means to an end of a average, because
to be able to put food in your children's mouth.
That's right.
Or keep a roof over their head. And if it's reminiscent, since it's reminiscent of slavery and such, is that nothing was done during slavery without the master's permission.
Thank you.
So once again, in 2020, ain't nothing being done without master's permission. Okay,
that's right.
I'm clear. Keep going.
Yes. So the bottom line is, in order to get out of this, we had to come up with a political configuration that approaches that deals with the economic situation, the political situation, the cultural situation, because there's a cultural piece to it. We are not the same people. It is okay to say, I am not the same as a Euro-American. We are not the same people. So therefore, you should not be dictating healthcare for us. I'm sorry. We should be dictating our own healthcare system. Because of the fact that our leadership allows the United States government to use that point of entry as 1619 as our official identity here in the Americas, and actually let them use it in legislation and in their laws, we are committing suicide because we're depriving ourselves of autonomy, the right to self-determine our own institutions. We need our own school system for our children. We need our own healthcare system. We need our own security force that answers to us and us first. We don't need middlemen.
No.
We need institutions that protect our interests
and not
first.
Corporations or anyone
That's
else.
right. That's right. That protect our interests first.
Okay.
That is loyal to our population first. And whatever surplus we have, we don't have a problem with sharing. We have always been a very sharing people. We have always rolled out the red carpet for everybody else but ourselves.
Way too much. I have to stop on that one, sis. I have to say this out loud. Way too much. We have given everything we have, every single solitary, including our children. We offered them up to their penal system in order to continue this country, period. The only reason why, I mean, if you want, I wish I had the numbers. I don't have them. I'm going to look those up. The numbers, the amount of money, and it's probably not public information if you ask me, but the amount of money that, because these are private institutions, that the penal institutions are earning, or we can look up the tax dollar amount that we're paying these private institutions to imprison innocent people. And let's just say many of them are innocent. I'm not saying everybody in prison is innocent, but when it comes to our population, we're guiltier than anyone else in this nation. And so evidently, because we are the ones who fill these prisons, and these prisons they're making a bunch of money. It's just slavery all over.
Well, we in the early 2000s and late 90s, everybody was angry because they thought all the jobs are going to China. All the jobs went to Mexico. All of the jobs just going across the water. And we're angry with these other minorities when the bottom line, most of those jobs went to the prison system. What you have to ask yourself, what population of labor can compete with third world countries? You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? They work those brothers that's in there for nonviolent drug crimes for 33 cents per hour for a job that they would pay 13, 14, and 15 cents per hour.
How about those California firefighters? How about them California firefighters?
Yes, ma'am.
How much does a firefighter earn? Firefighters make pretty good money. They make pretty good money. And so that tells me if the firefighters aren't getting any work in California, it's because of the prison system.
That's right. And it's a form of enslavement, and the United States government is in violation. That's right.
Violation.
They are in several violations. And the problem with our leadership is that they have framed our issues from a position that puts us in a situation where we depend, where they not only vilify us, but we have to depend on the offender to give us justice. If someone breaks into your home, do you really want him presiding over your case?
Right.
Do you want his stepdaddy or his mom, brother, uncle, whatever? Do you want them presiding over your case? No, you do not.
Not at all.
If there's a rapist, if you're attacked by a rapist, and you need some counseling, are you going to go to that rapist for counseling?
Me, knowing me, yeah, I probably would, but
Oh, please, no,
I'm
don't do
coming
that.
for a reason.
Well, I'm just saying, we should, yeah.
I ain't
Well, wait a
well
minute.
though, sis. Yeah, I'm gonna smile and come at you. Anyway,
Okay.
I don't want to give everything away. Come on.
Yeah. But we have to laugh about it
Yeah,
because it makes you cry. We have to have some fun sometimes.
makes
But
me
when you
angry.
think about it,
Makes me so
are
angry.
we sane? Only insane people would continue decade after decade, century after century, watching their children, watching their communities be terrorized by apartheid.
Why?
See, we always go and run and we always support everybody else and want to go save the world, but we have not saved ourselves right
don't
here.
care about ourselves. We've learned not to even give a crap about ourselves.
Let me tell you something. The more I dig, Sister Lily, and you know me, I am a researcher because I am nosy as you know what. I'm nosy, naturally nosy. Okay, I've been like this all my life. Now, after taking a look at some of the things that I've looked at, we supported Black South Africa, Black Africans,
apartheid.
And I qualify Black
we
because
spent so much money over there for apartheid. It ain't funny.
Yeah,
man,
but I qualify Black because you had that European, you have those Europeans taking over there now. You have the Chinese over there. But when we were helping them go up against apartheid, we should have taken the issue of apartheid here in America to the doorsteps of the United States, United Nations as well.
There you go. We should have been.
How can I sweep around the front door over in South Africa when you've been murdered in droves right here? And it's nothing against my African brothers and sisters because we need them right now more than ever.
But we need to also correct ourselves. We can't correct nobody else.
Exactly.
And for those of you who know the Bible, take the plank out of thine own eye, for you put the speck over there in your brother's eye.
Thank you.
Because I did grow up and I know that Bible.
Thank you. And when we were assisting with South Africa and Namibia, different areas that Mozambique that were being liberated. And we had brothers that actually went there and assisted.
Yeah.
Very instrumental.
Yeah.
They and assisted with taking it to the doorsteps of the UN. Then they came here and through Congress, there were sanctions against South Africa. The United States, they continue to do business. They continue to provide assistance for weapons and whatever have we. And we had freedom fighters.
Yep.
Afro-descendant freedom fighters here.
Yep.
To go and address that issue, but they should have been taking the issue of apartheid right here. To the doorsteps of the Congress, to the doorsteps of the United Nations, to the doorsteps of the Inter-American Court, to the doorsteps of the European Human Rights Court.
They tried.
The United States is not the end-all, be-all in justice.
They tried, but these guerrillas over here, these terrorists over here murdered every single one who stood up. They tried. A few of them tried. Not enough, but some of them tried. They tried. I have to give them.
They did. They did.
And Khalid ain't here no more.
That's right.
Khalid Muhammad.
That's right.
All of them, they tried. They tried.
Right.
Mickey Leland.
That's right.
They tried.
But sister,
every time they tried, them beasts, them terrorists jumped up and murdered them. And they still doing it today, but they're doing it now just on GP, just to keep everybody scared.
That's right.
That's the reason why they're killing these black men, women, and children. They're letting everybody know, I kill you. And you know what? The people it's working. These folks are scared. They're scared of death.
That's right.
But you know what? If they're already killing us, what you scared of?
That's right. Hey, you know you got me, sis.
I told you I'm angry. I'll be right back, sis. I'm going to get some water. Just give me 1 second.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I'm ready.
Oh, yes. But sister, that brings me to the security force. And that's one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I address on this particular broadcast. I'm looking for a few good men and women, because I look like I can't get the men to stand up around my.
I don't know what it is. They get quiet as church mouse. Keep talking.
Honey, we might as well give them our high heel shoes and a dress. Let them go on and do what they want to do. And we just take this thing over, and us women, we just do what we got to do.
Honestly, sis, I know a couple of gay men that's ready to fight. And,
honey, we bring
the so-called straight ones don't want to. I know a couple of gay men that signed up. They ready.
Oh, my.
I'm just saying.
Well, bring them on, girl, because we could always use some good beauty tips.
The straight men don't want to fight. I'm trying to figure out what the deal is. I mean, there's a couple of them out there. I got one of them, but I mean, still.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Many. Rest of them is still talking about why they can't. I'm going to call you out. You can be mad all you like. I don't care, but the truth is the truth. And if the truth going to kill you, then you may as well just go on and die. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Well, one thing I want to, a lot of people, that we go up against the government, they're going to kill us. They're going to put us in jail. You can't be saying, you ought to, let me tell you. You went where? They going to come and get you. They going to do this. Oh, my. Let me tell you something. You have a human right to protect and secure and defend your person, your property, your family, and your community.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let me try again. I'm trying to be nice.
It's just, as I posted on my social media page today, self-preservation is the first rule of nature.
That it is.
What?
Yes.
What you doing?
Yes. But let me go over the laws that protects us. The United States Constitution protects our right to defend ourselves. You have the Second Amendment. We have a right to have a well-regulated militia.
You say.
And I'm calling people out now. I'm asking people to register to join. We need two security forces. We need a civilian, one that's civilian, actually 3. We need a internal military, which is a police trained from a international human rights perspective, because we are what you call a special population.
Right.
And because we are a special population, there are certain protections under the 4th Geneva Convention that we have on how to handle us. We have a certain parameter of autonomy that we can we're entitled to, that we should be asserting right now. For example, we have a right in these police departments where we are the majority population to tell the United States, look, we need you to get your administration out of that building, and we're going to put our people in there to secure, protect, and defend our
rights,
our property, and our person.
That's right.
We are a special population because we have a lot of internal issues from oppression that we're dealing with. We're dealing with fratricide right now, black on black crime, but that is fratricide. That is a mental issue.
Yep.
That derive from oppression.
That's right.
We have a lot of psychological issues, drug issues. For calls to service, we have to call police for that. When we need a special policing to deal with our internal issues. We have issues with our youth, and when we call police officers, they are really coming in from a place, I don't want to say of anger.
Military. It's coming
from a military. Yes.
As if we're at war with our young boys.
Yes.
Instead of from
correcting
or
correcting behavior
type of a behavior, correctional behavior. You're right.
Yes, yes. And that's restore that's called a restorative perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Restorative justice is saying, we know you have issues, but there are different things in your environment that contributed to that. So our policing cannot look like the policing that we're being subjected to today. And we don't have the leadership that's ready to have those discussions. You want to get rid of being murdered and get rid of the issue, then you get rid of that particular issue. We have to get these people where we are the majority population out of that area and put our own people in, train them according to international human rights law how to police. Because the escalation of force, it doesn't start at the top.
Right.
And that's what our Western policing do. That's what the United States do. They escalate their force from the first point of contact. They come in with their hand on their gun.
That's right. That's right.
And you're unarmed.
That's right.
That's against the law. That is against the law. Even in their own particular standard operating procedures. It's wrong.
It's wrong.
You start your escalation of force according to what's going on. If I get a call to service for a juvenile, for a 9-year-old or 11-year-old who's just acting out, they don't have a weapon, why would I tase them?
Right. And put my knee in their back.
Put their knee, exactly. Why would I cuff a 6-year-old?
Right.
In school?
Yep.
That's not how you have the issue. Before you called in the SRO, what procedures did you do? You get all these resources. So what we're saying at the Afro-Descendant Institute for Human Rights is that our social problems, the issues that we in our human rights violations, the crimes against humanity that we suffer, has been assessed improperly, using the wrong assessment. You cannot use
and we have the case to prove it, because it's only happening in our communities when they arrest their let me just say their own kind. When Caucasian, or what's the word I want to use? I don't know what to call these people, because in social media, especially on Facebook, if you say the word white, you're harassed and terminated. But this group, I'm gonna call them what I see them as. They're terrorists in my community. But when those same terrorists go to their own communities to answer a call, they're treated very differently. They're treated as though they have human rights. And we are treated as though we do not. So it's evident. It's evident that they know what to do.
They're treating us as an enemy.
They're told not to treat us any
You're treated as an enemy.
Yeah.
The acts of violence that we suffer,
yeah,
it's an act of attrition. They're quick hits, quick attacks, quick threats. I looked at the frequency of violence, of external violence, and it's equivalent to warfare, soft warfare. We are being attacked in a form of hybrid warfare. We're being attacked economically.
Yeah.
We're being attacked psychologically through the media and through the public food system.
Right.
We're being attacked through the food. We're being attacked through the healthcare system. We've been attacked through their criminal justice system, through their policing, through their military. People don't know that the military has been involved in operations to murder our leaders. Pull the COINTELPRO.
You're right. COINTELPRO.
So why are you
done?
My question to the leadership, the misleadership, why are you hell bent on assessing our issues using the offender's assessment? That's my question to them. And what makes you think you're going to continue to represent us? I urge everyone that's listening to this presentation today, that's listening to this talk between me and Sister Lily, to go to www.adconfederation.com and reparationsbank.com. Register your family with the reparationsbank.com with Brother Ramzu.
Use reparations.app. Sis, we're gonna use reparations.app.
Okay.
I heard Brother Ramzu say they were giving him some issues with the FCC some Federal Reserve banking issue because he used the word bank. So they're attacking us at every front. So I just love Brother Ramzu. He's so fluid.
Yes, he is.
If you come at me this way, okay, fine.
I'm coming to get you again.
I'm gonna come around on the other side on you. He's good at that. So he got the new site, reparations.app. Reparations.app. And that's easy to remember too.
Thank you.
For everybody, when we telling them, us people who do canvas, because I still canvas to everybody I speak
Me
to.
too. Me
everybody.
too. Me too.
But reparations.app and the other one is www.adconfederation.com. The adconfederation.com.
Exactly. And download your register, download your declaration, sign it, scan it, and email it to the address on the form. We check those almost every week. We are putting those numbers and that data into a data bank, and a secure data bank. And we are using that because that is our consent when we go to the international arena. We're going to be speaking for our people. We're speaking for our people that gives us the authority to speak for them. I am not a founder of this nation. I am a co-facilitator of this nation. You are going to build this nation with me.
That's right.
We don't have any leaders in our nation.
No, say that again. Say that again, sis.
We don't have any leaders in our nation. There are no head Negroes in charge in this outfit.
This is what I love about this beautiful thing that we're doing, this beautiful entity that we have become.
Exactly. Yes.
It speaks of ancient times. It speaks of powerful groups of people who move in different ways than we do in the Western world today.
Exactly. And we have so much. We are a rich people. We are highly educated. We have the intellectual capacity. Let me tell you about our nation. We have the best. We just haven't had the room to grow. We have been stunted. We have been just stunted.
Growth has been stunted.
Yes, and now it's like we're getting everybody together, and we're getting ready to put everybody plant these seeds. That's where we are, and we need you. We need our people to join us.
Yes, we do.
Sign your declaration. Give us the power to move internationally. We're owed $59 trillion.
And that's enough to start.
That's more than enough to start.
That's enough.
59 trillion. We have the population. We have 48 million Afro descendants in the United States. That's more than some of these countries in the Americas.
That's right.
That's more than some of these countries in Africa. So we don't need to take our population lightly. That is a benefit. That's a tool. We just have to get on the same page politically and legally, because there is a way out. We don't have to be confined to this political configuration that we're in. We really don't. We don't have to be confined to this political relationship. We don't have to be confined to this political form. We are not simple minorities. We are a people. As a simple minority, we are relegated to the whim of the offenders.
That's right.
But as a people, which we are,
And we're special people.
And special. Oh
We're
yeah, we're
special
exceptional.
people. We're different than a lot of people. Listen, the stuff that has happened in this country for decades, generations, we're
Yes.
basically the cream of the crop. And I'll tell you why. Because as natural selection goes, we survive.
Exactly.
We're the ones who made it through.
Thank you.
So we are a very special subgroup. We don't know our power.
Exactly.
We have a lot of psychosis going on, but it's not unfixable.
Yes, right.
For those who have the desire to change, to do better, to know, it's like we do stuff overnight. We are brilliant people. We have built everything that this country has.
Exactly.
We did it. We invented it. They just work it.
Yes.
We made this. We built this, all of it.
They take the credit for what we do.
That I give them credit for. So we need to know this. We need to know who we are.
Exactly.
And so that's the only way we're going to be able to move forward in power with that foundation.
Exactly.
Knowing our power.
Exactly. And it starts with identity.
Yeah.
If you look at our history of who we are a mixture, and I use the code word Black for a reason. Black American. When the Europeans got here, they saw Black Americans. And those Black Americans mixed with those Black Africans that came on those prison ships. Like here in Georgia, the Black African that got off the ship they sided with the Wali Indians against the Friar, against Spain. So we have a rich history that we need to be teaching our children at home, and not allow the propaganda to be taught to them in these schools, because it has a legal, economic, cultural connotation to it, and it harms our development. We are 235 years behind Euro-American society.
Say that again, sis.
We are 232 years behind European American society.
All right.
Because we have been underdeveloped. Our human capital, that means our resources, our labor, our wealth, our land has been
stuck. We've been stuck on survival mode for hundreds of years.
Yes.
Only surviving. Yes. Never moving forward. Never having a generational wealth, that anything that we could pass on to our children. And that goes for the most highly decorated, highly educated amongst us.
Yes.
Still have nothing left over for our children or our grandchildren. And I say they, I'm going to call them terrorists because I don't know anything else to call them, have generational wealth to go for multiple generations, many of them. Some of them, I'm not going to say all people are the same, because some of them are very poor, and I understand that. I'm not trying to, I don't even want to get into their stuff, because their stuff ain't our problem. They have welfare. Very good welfare. They own their homes, even the poor ones.
Yes.
They own their little land. They think, oh, we had to scrape and struggle. Oh, we had to get out there in the fields and work. Well, shit, we did too. At least you got the land out of it.
That's right.
I'm done. I'm stop ranting. Go ahead.
There's nothing wrong with ranting, because we need to have these. Listen, we need to have these conversations. These are internal conversations that we're not having. These are internal conversations that need to be had between families, between churches, between different organizations that proposes to protect us. Mm-hmm. We need to be having these conversations about human rights. Mm-hmm. We're in the 21st century. Okay? We're in the 21st century. We have to move beyond the civil rights rhetoric and the civil rights assessments, because our leadership's neglect is killing us. Literally. You're killing us. Literally. You're killing our children. You're killing us. You're killing us. But how do we sidestep that?
Stand up.
How do we sidestep them? We stand up, we sign those declarations, and we register for the Reparations app. We have no choice. We only need the willing. If you have to question,
keep stepping.
Stay right on.
We don't need you.
We don't need you.
Be back. You'll be back when Master get through doing to you what they finna do to y'all. The same thing they did in Libya to them people who made them slave. You'll be back. If you gotta think about it, go on, because you're in the way. I'm just gonna say that. You're in the way.
Exactly.
Get out the way. I need to talk to them other people back there you blocking, and shut up, for Christ's sake. Shut up. Because what you're doing is you invoking fear in somebody who's ready to fight.
Exactly.
So you over there squawking and hollering like that old chicken or turkey over there. Wah, wah, wah. Just shut up. You scared? Go sit down. Quit running your mouth. Now,
that's right. Exactly. And you know what? You said it so eloquently, because I could have put in a few
was that eloquent?
explicits in there.
Country.
It was eloquent, because you know what I want to say. But you know, Sister Lily, when I think about our situation and our condition in our communities, it's so troubling. And what is troubling is the leadership that we have allowed to create these problems or exacerbate these problems and allow them to fester. They continue to fester. It's like we've been in a septic tank.
I'm actually repeating
bullshit too long.
Go back. So hold on. I'm actually repeating one more. Say that again. You said who allowed it?
We allow it.
All right. Keep talking. Go back.
We allow this.
Repeat that.
We allow people to represent us who don't use the right assessments, who don't analyze our problem from the correct place. Look at our population. Look at the quality of our population. We have the intellectual capacity to govern ourselves.
Right.
We have the means. We have settlements. We have the areas that we can control. We just need the law, to use the law, international and human rights law, to secure those areas.
That's right.
How do you think we're going to get them out? We're not prepared to go to war with these people. And they're not going to give it to us. We're not prepared. So I'm not going to get on here beating my chest saying, oh, let's go. Oh, no. You know what? Mentally, we're not there. Because we still think there's some saving grace with the current relationship that we have that's parasitic. I don't consent to it. If you don't consent to that parasitic relationship, go to Reparations app and go to adconfederation.com and download your declaration, sign it, email it, and send it back. If you're ready to secure your wealth, power, and resources, to control your identity, to reconfigure the political relationship with the United States.
Come on.
To reconfigure the political form that you're in, to say, you know what, I am not a simple minority. I didn't swim beside the Mayflower, nor did my ancestors, and I don't consent to this bullshit you got in your Constitution.
Come on.
Sign the declaration. That's what it's about. It's about standing up and saying, you know what? I don't have to be in agreement with this policy of forced assimilation, because that's all integration is.
Forced assimilation.
You're forcing and imposing your culture on us.
Really good term.
You're forcing and imposing your will on us without our consent, absorbing our resources, absorbing our tax dollars, misappropriating them,
misrepresenting us
right now with your foreign policy. We don't consent to overthrowing perfectly good, perfectly democratically elected presidents, no matter how bad they are. Look what we got in the White House. As much as I have an issue with Trump, I don't consent to anybody going to do anything to him. I don't consent to that. I don't consent to anybody threatening our territorial integrity. Why should I consent to you threatening somebody else's?
That's right.
You don't speak for me. And if they don't speak for you, sign your declaration.
And stand up and speak for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. We are the laughing
The
stock.
minute you go and cast your vote in this electoral system, you agree to every daggum thing that president does for the next 4 years.
Thank you, ma'am.
Whether they right or wrong, you agree to it. So you are part of that. I ain't voting in that mess. You ain't
exactly
in that. What they say, my name is Fest. I ain't in that.
And I ain't in that mess.
Oh, yes, you know, Donald Trump got them people over there in Iran mad at him. I don't want no part of that.
I don't want any parts of it either. We don't have anything to do with that, and we don't have anything. Listen,
you know, right now, Lily Shiloh says she don't consent to that shit they did over there. They killed that man, stole the money. I don't consent to that, Iran.
I don't consent either. We didn't do it. It wasn't us. It was them. It was them. I have my grandbaby. It was her. It was them. It was him. It was him and them. Wasn't us.
It was him and them.
Venezuela, it wasn't us. It was him and them.
Because I might have to come over there where y'all at after a while, the way they doing things in this country. I might have to run and hide somewhere.
Hey, they the closest people to get to.
Let me in. My Lily Shiloh. Here I am.
We're saying it for a joke, but we better be getting them visas ready, girl, because we might have to kick rocks.
I ain't tripping.
But honestly, we have to laugh because sometimes what we encounter makes us cry. It's all about consent, the consent of the governed. And we can change this. We have the numbers. We have the money. We have money.
We have it.
We just don't control it. You don't control it.
Money. Here's the thing. And this is something that I learned, and I won't keep these people much longer, but I'm gonna say this too before you leave. This is something that I learned just reading, and that is that in other countries, they don't look at us, even in the Americas and other jurisdictions in the Americas. They don't look at you're never broke. I don't care if you ain't got a dime in your pocket. If you have something that you can come up, your mind can conceive something.
That's right.
If your mind can conceive, as my ancestors used to say, clothed in your right mind, you can conceive an idea, a concept, and make it a reality, then you ain't broke, baby. You got a wealth right here.
Exactly.
So we got plenty that many countries just come to us for our ideas. If you can grab, they'll take you.
Exactly. But we always want to depend on other people. It's time for us to stand up and be self-sufficient. Nobody's going to come and rescue us.
That's right.
We have to rescue ourselves. Now, once we pull out of this jurisdiction and take our issues to the international arena, we will be in a position that other countries can weigh in on the situation. And let me tell you about countries all over the world. They don't go along with everything that the United States do, and they doggone sure don't go along with the way that we're being treated. But they can't come in and threaten anybody's in their territorial integrity. They can't come in and get in the United States business. We have to. We have to do what we need to do. We have to do it.
So they can help us.
Exactly. We got to help ourselves. We have to say, you know what? We don't consent to this. Other countries have a right to assist us. There are international agencies that will help us. Help us institute our own school system. Help us retrieve our cultural property. We have a lot of cultural property that these people are getting right now. These bodies that's found under these colleges and these universities.
That's cultural property.
That's cultural property. We should be retrieving those bodies.
I live on a cultural property right here in Houston, Texas. I live on a cultural property. If anybody remembers the first, see, there were 2 sets of graves they found in Houston, Texas. One was in Sugar Land recently, the Sugar Land 95. That was most recently. But if you dig back to Fourth Ward, Houston's Fourth Ward in Freedman's Town, you will find that they dug up Buffalo Soldiers along the Allen Parkway here, and they still put a Federal Reserve building on top of them. I need to tell you what they done. So they are egregiously wrong.
Yes. Yes.
Cultural property. Government don't
Yes.
belong to you. Y'all
That's
got
right.
y'all got hell to pay. And you know it.
And we're gonna make them pay. We are going to make them pay. We are going to do what we need to do. And when I say when we are going to make them pay, we're going to take it out of this jurisdiction. We're going to be putting this in a neutral ground.
Yes.
And let the world weigh in on what's going on with us. How can you sit at the United Nations in the Security Council like you are the beacon of human rights? And at the drop of a dime, black bodies drop. Who does that?
I think Anansi said every 30 seconds.
Every 30 seconds.
Another one gone.
Another one gone. How much longer? Here's the question. How much longer are we going to sit idly by and do absolutely nothing and get picked off like sitting ducks? When are we going to do it?
Because you're scared of dying. So you're just going to die because you're scared of dying. They're going to die because they're scared of dying. That's how they work. That's how they work.
You got to go anyway.
Going anyway. And you're going anyway. You would if you don't stand up.
Exactly. I can see now they have international assessments for oppressed people like ourselves.
Really?
Yes. And I'm going to share them with you. Matter of fact, we did brief on Zoom. Remember the last meeting, not Zoom, on my talk show.
Okay.
And we talked about that threat assessment. We don't have our own media.
Nope.
We do not control the media, our own media. We do not control our own food system. We do not control our own healthcare system. We don't have an adequate security apparatus to protect our interests and to protect ourselves, to secure our person, property, families, and community. These are things that we have to put in place under one roof. We can't have everybody running out here on this end saying Black Power. And on the next end, you're busy running to our oppressor for remedy. Because, see, that's a ideological difference that we have. You've tried it before. It's not working. It's time to try something else. And don't be ashamed of it.
That's right. That's right. You can't give up.
Everybody say, well, the Palestinians, how the UN, the Palestinians get $6 billion a year. They have United Nations agencies assisting them, and they have a population smaller than ours.
Wow. And
no, they're not doing all that great.
That's why they're able to hold on and continue to fight, because they are.
We ain't got nothing to fight with.
You ain't got nothing to fight with except for
you have nothing. You control nothing. You have nothing. You can't even pinch these motherfuckers.
Palestinians are here in this country right now, right around the corner, making money in America.
Thank you. You can't even pinch
them. I know where they at. Right here in Houston, right around the corner from where I am right now. I'm taking the Palestinians. Got their own little businesses right here in America, but we in America and won't now
and don't. Something's wrong there.
Because we can't. They won't allow it. This licensing, the loans, the unfair practices that they place on.
Yes. But see, sis, in this political configuration that we have created, we going in for authority transfers.
Yeah.
Authority transfers for our own criminal justice system. We're working on things that, to relabel, to reclassify our offenders if they're not nonviolent. Once we have solidified what we're proposing to do, we have programs that we can transfer that authority and put those people back in the community with the supports that we need.
That they need.
That they need.
That's right.
The supports that they need. A lot of people and I'm not going to say of victims, but we have a lot of people that are victims of this war on drugs. The
Right.
war on drugs was created to subdue our population so we wouldn't benefit from the gains that was made during civil rights.
Right.
And this came out of Nixon's mouth. Google the Southern Strategy.
You say
Sister,
what? Say it again. I'm sorry. I just got a call that came in.
Okay. Nixon, along that time in the late 60s, early 70s, they came up with the war on drugs to subdue, to use that criminal justice system as a tool of repression to stop the gains that we had made during the civil rights era.
Civil rights era. Okay.
They criminalized
Yep.
our elders, who some of them are still political prisoners, because of their efforts to liberate us from oppression.
Right.
So a lot of those people, they use chemical warfare, put drugs in the communities, they did some horrible things. I urge everyone to pull the COINTELPRO papers, or Google it. Read up on this. This is what your government that you support
did to you,
and giving them the authority to continue giving the authority to do to you. And what they have done. They even went so far in the 90s to chemically attack our children, calling them super predators, putting in programs saying, you know what, we better give them medicine if they acting like this. And a lot of us fell for it and Umar Johnson is right, because they wanted to check.
Wanted to check. He's right. It happened. Yep. Well, sis, I'm so glad that we were able to come together and do this.
Excellent. I'm so happy too. And thank you for all you do. I call you the mother of the nation.
There she go.
Because you represent us so well. Thank you so much for all that you do. We're gonna solidify this thing, and we're gonna do what we need to do. I urge everyone to go to our website. If you're able to take courses, if you have the time and you have the resources, or if you just want to do it, we will make room for you. We will modify the curriculum. We will modify the fee to fit your needs, because right now we need the capacity to push this. We know when we file this thing, they're coming after us. Also, I'm putting out the call. We need a well-regulated security force.
Yeah.
Civilian, public, and internal. We need to be, we're recruiting for that right now. I urge anyone who is interested in seeing us liberated as a people. If you have a background in law enforcement, we can use you.
Absolutely.
If you don't want to be, if you want to remain anonymous, remain anonymous. We can make that work.
We like that. We need all kinds.
Yes.
We need anonymous and open. We need all kinds.
That's right. Yes. We need military. We need the military. We need people with a military background who's retired. People are out. Some, if you're still in, we can use you.
That's right.
We're not asking you to come in and do any terroristic mess. We're asking you to come in and help us put in the infrastructure to protect our nation, to protect our people, to protect our... That's right.
That's right.
We have the intellectual capacity to do what it is we need to do. We don't have to continue to depend on the oppressor, to depend on our offender, who continually commit crimes against humanity, against us at the drop of a dime. I'm begging.
With impunity. With impunity, and no one they just walk away scot-free. I killed a nigga. Okay, well. We need think tanks. We don't have enough.
That's right.
We need think tanks.
We can't do it all. Ramsey can't do it all in Detroit.
And there's so many brilliant people amongst us. If they would simply step up.
Exactly. And there's no, in this political configuration right now, there's no leadership. We're facilitating this because once we reach the threshold that we need, then we're going to institute a provisional government, elected democratically. No more self-appointed Negroes.
And no more leadership in that respect. We'll have a council with no mayor. We'll have a government with no president. This will be, as far as from what I can see, it's governed differently than this hierarchy government that we have, and I love that.
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
main thing that drew me.
Exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
drew me to this, because to me, that is the way to do anything democratically. What do you got a president for?
Exactly.
What to
And
get?
see, the thing about it is we are an oppressed group, and we have been retarded politically because we don't know our rights as our collective rights.
Right.
So it's very imperative that people join us so they can be informed about their rights, be informed about your political relationship and how it's killing you, how we're being misrepresented right now by our leadership because they're using the wrong assessments.
Wow, this has been amazing. Is there? I'm going to make sure that I add not only the links for the reparations.app, but the www.adconfederation.com. And I also include the links for the uh, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, as well as the International Covenant on Economic and Cultural Rights. I will be including those links when I upload this recording to my social media. I think the only one it'll hold is going to be Facebook. Since we got to do another one that's less than 10 minutes, so I'm on Instagram because that's what it has to be on.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to do another one. But right now, I wanted to get this one out.
Okay.
Very, very important to do so. And I'm running out of time. The last time I looked.
Okay. Well, you have a wonderful day, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming. I need to tell you, I'm honored. I'm honored to be a part of this whole thing. And I thank you, sis, for finding me, because you found me.
I sure did find you. Yes, I'm going to get her. Mm-hmm. Yes, got to get her on our team.
Peace, open roads, and open roads with positive forward motion.
And same to you.
That we do, and that you do. Remain safe and powerful as you are.
Exactly. Black power, sis.
Power. All right. Let's see, we are going to